Good morning, children. In the last lecture, I discussed about the intrinsic semiconductor and then extrinsic semiconductor I just started, and how you can convert an intrinsic semiconductor into an extrinsic semiconductor by the process of doping. What is doping? Adding impurities to a pure semiconductor in a controlled manner to increase the conductivity of the semiconductor. Alright. Now you know that pure semiconductors, intrinsic semiconductor, they are in the fourth group. Alright. The valencies are 4, germanium and silicon. So, if you add pentavalent impurities to the tetravalent intrinsic semiconductor, then the extrinsic semiconductor produced is known as N-type or donor type semiconductor. I repeat, pentavalent impurities when added to tetravalent pure semiconductor, then N-type semiconductors are produced. So you just consider this diagram. You see here all these are germanium atoms, and you have added one pentavalent, means plus 5 valency atom here. That is the impurity you have added. Here I am showing you just only one impurity atom. Okay. So you see what will happen. It has 5 valence electron. So 4 valence electrons, 4 electrons, they will just produce 4 covalent bond. Okay. In order to get the 8 number of electrons in the outermost shell, isn't it? Now, what will happen to the fifth one? Fifth one, it will become loosely bound. Alright, that's why you see this fifth one, the fifth electron of the impurity atom, as it is loosely bound to the nucleus, it can easily jump to the conduction band just by absorbing a little bit of energy. Alright. So just you consider, if you consider the conduction band and valence band, this is the conduction band and valence band of the germanium intrinsic semiconductor. Alright. Now what you have done? You have added one impurity atom, pentavalent impurity. So, due to this pentavalent impurity, one electron is extra, and this electron is loosely bound. So, what will happen? This electron, it can become free very easily by absorbing a very little amount of energy. So, the energy level corresponding to this one, it lie in the region, means forbidden energy gap, but it lies near the conduction band. Alright, so what will happen? This is the donor level. This is the donor level. So what will happen to the electron? Electron here easily, just by getting, you see how much energy is needed to jump to the conduction band and to become free, this little bit of energy. So easily this donor atom, it will go to the conduction band and will become free. So you see, each impurity atom donate one free electron for increasing the conductivity to the host atom. Is that clear? That's why the impurity type is known as donor type impurity. Why donor type impurity? I repeat, the concept is needed. Each doped atom will donate one free electron to the host atom. That's why it is known as the donor type impurity. And where the donor level lies, it lies near to the conduction band. Is that clear? So, what is happening here, you see, in an N-type semiconductor, remember that there are two type of charge carrier. There will be electron and hole. But you know that when it is intrinsic semiconductor, the concentration of electron and hole was same. But in this case, just try to understand, due to doping of each atom, one atom is donating one electron, but there is no corresponding hole. Why? Because the hole will be created in the forbidden energy gap, and in the forbidden energy gap, whatever is there, that will not contribute to the conductivity. Is that clear? So either the hole has to be in the valence band or electron has to be in the conduction band to contribute to the conductivity. So here for N-type semiconductor, you have to remember that majority charge carrier is electron. Is that clear? And electron is negatively charged. That's why this is also known as N-type impurities or N-type semiconductor. So how you can get a N-type semiconductor? By doping pentavalent impurity to intrinsic semiconductor. And when you are doping pentavalent impurity to intrinsic semiconductor, what will happen? Each donor atom will contribute one electron, one free electron. That's why majority charge carrier is electron, whereas minority charge carrier is hole. Is that clear? So this is the point you have to remember. But remember that here in this case, concentration of electron is much higher than concentration of hole. This is the thing you have to remember, and that's why this is known as the N-type semiconductor. And why donor type? Once again I am repeating, because each doped atom will donate one free electron to the host atom. That's why it is known as donor type impurity. And where donor level lies? Donor level lies near the conduction band, so that the electron can become easily free by just absorbing a little bit of energy. Alright, so that's all about the N-type semiconductor. The next type of semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, is known as P-type semiconductor. Now next type of extrinsic semiconductor is P-type semiconductor or acceptor type semiconductor. In this case, what we do? We add trivalent impurity to tetravalent intrinsic semiconductor. So you see, trivalent impurity means the impurity atom is having 3 valence electrons. So you see, 3 electron will make 3 covalent bond, and there will be a vacant space for this covalent bond. So you may consider that absence of electron is a hole. So you see, this hole, what will happen? It can easily absorb 1 electron from outside bond. It can break the outside bond, nearby adjacent bond, and it can just have 1 electron here. Is that clear? So you see, in this case, what is happening? Each doped atom is ready to accept 1 electron from the valence band. So you see, for each doped atom, there will be a acceptor level. Acceptor level, what it will do? Here there is a hole, so it will just accept 1 electron from the valence band. So when the electron will go here, a hole will be created in the valence band. So you see, a hole in a valence band, it contributes to the conductivity. That's why what is happening in this case, that it is becoming this, as it is having absence of electron, means it will become positively charged. So this is known as the P-type semiconductor. And what are the majority charge carrier in this case? Majority charge carriers are holes and minority charge carriers are electrons. So in this case, that concentration of hole is much greater than concentration of electron. Alright, and why it is known as the acceptor type semiconductor or extrinsic P-type semiconductor? P-type because the majority charge carrier is hole, which is positively charged. Why acceptor type? Because each doped atom ready to accept 1 electron from the adjacent covalent bond. That's why it is known as the acceptor type impurities. So what we have learned about the extrinsic semiconductor, when we add pentavalent impurity, then it becomes N-type semiconductor, and in case of N-type semiconductor, majority charge carriers are electron and minority charge carriers are hole. And if we just add trivalent impurity to intrinsic semiconductor, then it becomes P-type semiconductor or acceptor type semiconductor. Why P-type semiconductor? Because majority charge carriers are hole, which is positively charged. That's why known as P-type. And as it accepts 1 electron from the valence band and donate 1 hole, that's why it is known as the acceptor type impurities. But remember that always in case of extrinsic semiconductor, Ne into Nh is always equal to Ni square, where Ni is the concentration of the intrinsic charge carriers. Now the last topic is what are the differences between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor are pure semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductors are impure semiconductor. In intrinsic semiconductor, concentration of electron and concentration of hole are equal, but in case of extrinsic semiconductor, concentration of electron and hole are not equal. In case of N-type semiconductor, concentration of electron is more, and in case of P-type semiconductor, concentration of hole is more. In case of intrinsic semiconductor, electrical conductivity is low, and you know that is the reason that why we prefer extrinsic semiconductor, because electrical conductivity is sufficiently high, significantly high. And in case of intrinsic semiconductor, conductivity increases exponentially with temperature. I hope you can remember it was e to the power minus Eg by 2 kT. Okay, in the last lecture I wrote it already. And in this case of extrinsic semiconductor, conductivity increases with temperature but not exponentially. In case of intrinsic semiconductor, conductivity cannot be controlled. But in case of extrinsic semiconductor, conductivity can be controlled by adjusting the amount of impurities added to it. Okay, so these are all the differences between intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor. That's all about this chapter. Thank you, children.